Hey people, welcome to the party. This is your recap crew to talk about Skeleton Crew episode 4. I didn't even look at the title of this episode. What was it?
Oh, you heard it a dozen times. The title is I don't know much about At-Atten or something
Oh,
like that. You know what?
can't say I
Can't say I don't
remember.
remember.
No
Yeah.
at. Yeah,
Yep.
we did hear
That
that
was
a
the
bunch.
title.
Yeah, and we'd heard it before, but I think of all the episodes, this is the one that Shmi has said that the most. All right,
Yes.
so let's kick this off. So, right before we went live, Will actually just informed me that the ratings on this show apparently aren't good. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. So, let me see if I can get this shared up here. It's a Forbes article, so I mean, I feel like that's fairly reputable, of all of the websites you
Sounds
can
legit.
find.
Sounds legit.
Yeah, so it's talking about Skeleton Crew, the Acolyte, and then Andor is actually mentioned in the article too. It just talks about how it's the three lowest Star Wars titles that Disney has put out. It's kind of negative on some parts, so I won't go too much into it. But it's number one on Disney Plus right now, but it's never hit the top 10. It
Hmm.
didn't chart in either of the first 2 weeks, and which is actually like lower than the Acolyte, is what it says, which is kind of
Mm.
crazy.
Well, I
Um,
think the Acolyte had a
yeah,
lot of people hate watching it. So, like, hate
yeah,
watch, you know
that's
how people
true.
love to,
Yeah,
so even
drama,
though people,
right?
yeah, even though people didn't like it, they wanted to watch it so that they could at least talk about it. So
Yeah,
that
the rest
makes
of the
sense.
article is just kind of like negativity. Like I think it's just kind of clicking on the acolyte more so than anything. But I almost wonder if this and now this isn't going to be a negative stream, but I almost wonder if like you know how Solo caught the downstream effect of the Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me wonder if Skeleton Crew is going to catch like that downstream on the acolyte.
Catching strays.
Yeah,
Could be.
undeservedly too.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate because it's so different and it's so fun. And
Yeah,
I can't remember who it was that said this last week. I think it might have been Ryan from Hi, My Name is Ryan. Having
mm,
something so different really opens us up to like other things that are just super different. Like, I'd love to see something about a royal house. I know there was an
yeah.
Easter egg about a Jedi prince. And just something with like a prince. I know Leia was a princess, but we never really got to explore that. Or we never got to see Queen Beru, in action and or Senator Bale. So it'd be cool to have a storyline kind of like that. Like medieval like royalty kind of. That would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, and everything doesn't have to be the same. And I think Skeleton Crew is doing that in a really good way. Now, things don't need to be like shockingly different, but also they don't have to just be the same footprint over and over and over. And I think this show's doing it the right way.
Yeah, for sure. It's super different. Like we have a show centered around like children, and but it's not a kids show.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like the new one. What's it called? The one with Nubs, the blue teddy bear.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that a couple weeks ago. Young Jedi Adventure.
Young Jedi Adventures. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that features kids, but it's for kids, so it makes
Right. Yeah. That's
sense.
like Disney Junior.
Right, exactly. We had Joshua in the chat saying hello, party
Hey.
people. Joshua and I just watched the episode together, so I'm sure he'll have lots to say. David says, "Oh, I don't remember no ad." So that's actually wrong. You and Will both said it wrong. So he says, and this is important to the episode. He says, "Can't say." I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
no at
Yeah.
and the can't say is kind of important because
Yeah.
Fern is like maybe he can't say because like he had a memory override.
That is factual.
Can't say I remember no at. Darth David says hi hi in classic Darth David TM fashion. Robbie's here. He says
Hey, Robbie.
yurt. Will, I don't
Yurt.
know if you know this, but yurt is the new yurt.
Oh, is that the new thing now?
Yeah, we're switching
We're
over.
all we're living in tents.
Yeah, it's official. You're
Okay.
a
Good to know.
party Padawan people. Hello, Robbie. Thanks for tuning in. Darth David says Yurt.
Yurt.
I saw little Annie in the start today. So he was
Yep.
in the opening sequence of the first episode, and I think he's just still in there.
I watched it today. I paid attention to it today. I'll rephrase that just because I remember y'all mentioning all that. And so I had to
Yes.
check it out and I noticed that.
Yes. Does this make our faces too big?
Yeah,
Is
it's
this
fine.
too intimidating?
You can go full, yeah, full facial.
Yeah, we'll switch back and forth. Uh, we'll do different, like a news show. We have different
Yeah.
POVs. But yeah, I pointed that out pretty early on. That's actually I put together some Easter eggs from episode 1 and 2 for us to talk
Yeah.
about, and that's in there. So we will talk about it. But I noticed that the first time, and remember I was like trying to flip back to it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
is this him? So we'll look at that later. Oh
Hey, real
right.
quick,
Mm-hmm.
what did what was your grade for episode 4? Just right off the
Oh yeah,
bat.
yeah, yeah. Let's start with that. I know because we always leave it for the end. This is good.
Yeah.
It was actually my least favorite, I think, of all
Okay.
four. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wasn't as big a fan. I would probably give it. I feel like I've given everything a safe like 7.5 to 8.5, if I remember correctly. I'd probably give this one like 6, 6.5.
Yeah. So I was thinking the same thing. I don't know. I still think the second one might be my least favorite, but
Mm,
this one, like, if you remove Neil from it, um,
yeah,
it's it's not very good at all, right? So it's mainly
lackluster.
just focused on him, and then at the very end, it was super interesting. So I mean, I gave the second one a 7 or something like that. So, I mean, I would probably put this one the same, probably a 7.
I agree. I think it picked up in the last few minutes with the whole like SM33. But, and you're right. I noticed the same as well. Neil was kind of the star of this episode. Him and
Right.
that
Like
girl,
KB
whatever.
before, well, it's like KB was before. Now it was Neil and
Yeah.
the village girl.
Yeah. It's like they're taking turns featuring each of the kids, which I think is cool that it's equally about all of
Yeah.
them individually.
Agreed.
Joshua says, I hope he is still loyal to our crew, just having a mix up from the memory override. He's talking about SM33.
Yeah.
It
Oh,
would
I
be
think he may
sad.
be in trouble.
We'll see if they reactivate him or if KB works on his memory, maybe overrides it again. But it
Yeah.
would be sad to leave him behind at this point. You know, he was so funny.
No, he'll go. I think he'll go with him. We may just, they'll have to do something to him.
Yeah, which will probably end up being KB. Some of those like little, you know how there always has to be like a super genius nerd. I don't know. I find it a little cringy every time
Yeah.
KB. Is it you
she's
too?
always she always has the answer. I like her, but it's always like, and I think I don't know that the way they're going about it necessarily is super smooth in these episodes, but there'll be like a little
Yeah.
issue and then it's automatic. You know, she's like got the answer.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I like it. And maybe because it's overplayed, like the whole like child genius. I don't know.
Yeah, the
Purple
stereotype.
Jedi says, Hi everyone. Hello. Thanks for
Hello.
tuning in. I like your profile picture. Least favorite, says Darth David. The question on everyone's minds are there memes and bad clips? So there are bad clips. I'm saving the memes for next week because there's not that many. So I need all of you to get together and send me your memes as a crew. As a captain of this ship, I am formally requesting that you gather the
Memes.
memes. Yeah,
Send them this
send
way.
them to me or send them to Will, and we'll scrounge them up and show them next week. But I do have Easter eggs to talk about from episodes 1 and 2. I want to start talking
Yes.
about the Easter eggs because I know after the episode, we're like, oh, I think this was an Easter egg. And you're like, I think that was an Easter egg, but we never actually circle back. So I want to start circling back on some of those conversations. David says episode was a 6 for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Second, second, second episode was your favorite so far. I liked
Oh, okay.
episode
Well,
2. I think of all of them, well, you're going to have to go back and start keeping tabs of our overall rating.
yeah. So you gave episode 1 a lower score than 2. We like flip
Yes.
flopped on the 2,
Yep.
and then 3 was somewhere in the middle for you, I think. And 3 was my favorite. I think is what I landed on.
I think we all gave episode 3 an 8, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
it was really
But
good.
we need to start keeping a running tally of like
Start
our
jotting it down.
average. Yeah, I know, because I
Yeah,
forget. But yeah, episode 2 was also my favorite. I just liked the Port Borgo stuff and like the piratey stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
was cool. And we get to see Jod at the very end. Yeah, it was paced a bit awkwardly,
Yeah, it
says
was.
Joshua. Made the show
It
feel way
really
too
was.
episodic.
It
I
started
understand.
off, I almost thought too, like to kind of pile on that, it seemed super episodic right when it started off. It felt like, one of those Mandalorian episodes where like from the beginning, it's not going to be that important.
Yeah,
Like
consequential.
they're showing up to the planet and it's like, oh, okay, it's not going to be
Yeah.
the planet. There's going to be a
hmm
side quest. And that's exactly how the episode went.
Yeah, like you could skip it all together and still end up in the same place.
Except for the very end. Then
Yeah,
it was
except
like,
for the
oh,
last three
okay,
minutes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that came on really fast. Just talking about pacing, like it was
hmm
so slow, and then I'm cheap. I have Disney Plus with ads. I caught the good deal where you pay for like two
hmm
ninety nine a month for the year or whatever. So
I got
like
a better deal. I use my brother's account and it's free 99.
well, people do that to me actually. So um,
Fair.
but but it was like the way these ads were broken up. If any of y'all like frugal people are in the chat, you'll understand. It's usually pretty evened out. And then at the end, there was one like right when they got to that station, and I was like, that's really weird, like that they would put it here. And then it came back on, and it was like 2.5 minutes of solid action, and the show was over. It was super
Yeah.
strange.
And we all knew they weren't going to get to Ad in this episode. I think we
Yeah,
all
yeah.
theorized like it's way too soon. So I
Mhm.
don't think anyone was surprised by that. But yeah, it did feel very side questy. Robbie says 6.5 for me. The babysitting scene was funny. I know. I liked
That
when
was good.
SM33 was like, "Don't make me count." That was funny. Apparently, SM33 knows something about kids and how scary counting down is. Do we know 33's old captain?
No, but it's gonna be interesting to figure out. I think that'll be like one of the big reveals of this show, right?
Mm-hmm. You know what I was getting callbacks to? I don't know if you've seen Treasure Planet by Disney.
Oh, that's like the cartoon from the '90s or early 2000s.
Yeah, it's a little CGI and like
Yeah,
2D
yeah,
animation.
yeah.
Yeah, so when
Yeah.
they first come across BEN, it's like very mysterious. He's missing his memory. He's got like part of his like brain
Mm-hmm.
missing until they find it and like kind of reattach it to him and he remembers the treasure planet. But it kind of reminded me of that because I don't know, I saw the parallels between SM33 even though they're totally different personalities if you've seen Treasure Planet.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
still this mystery around BEN where they're like, where did he come from and what ship, what crew was he on? So it's interesting.
yeah. I've
David
seen
says,
Treasure Planet. I remember when that came out.
sound you gotta rewatch it. Sounds like you're
Yeah,
forgetting Ben. Ben.
it's only been 22 years.
It's time for a rewatch.
Yeah.
David says, I'm really hoping Hondo makes an appearance. Speaking of Easter eggs, there appears to already have been a Hondo Easter egg. So we'll talk
Oh
about
wow.
that at the end when we get to Easter eggs. Jeffrey says, oh,
Hey
hello, welcome,
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. Haven't seen it, but I enjoy reviews, so I'm watching.
Thank you.
Well, definitely watch it though. Make some time to watch it. It's pretty
Yeah.
good. It's a
Don't
good show.
don't take our word.
Yeah, we have bad taste in shows. No, but definitely watch it. It's fun. David says, I got a better deal 3 months
Oh,
free, but with
nice,
ads.
nice.
Okay, they're trying
That's
to hook
okay.
you, David. They're
Ads
trying to.
build character.
It's filled with patience, endurance. Yeah.
It's a refill break too, on like your water or
Oh,
popcorn or something.
fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Bathroom break. David says, I was wondering if Jod was maybe his captain, but not sure. I mean, it doesn't seem like Jod was his captain because at least Jod hasn't
I
acknowledged
think
as
he's a
much.
lot older than that, but how big of a twist would that be? Like if it was like Jod putting on this big show. That I could see that happening, but I think this droid is like ancient.
But remember episode 3 when Jod has to retrieve SM33? He doesn't even know what he looks
Yeah.
like. He's like, is that him? And then he sees the rat pop out of the eye and he's like, yep,
Yeah.
that's him. So I don't think so.
Yeah, that's
But
probably not happening. But
yeah, have you watched a lot of theory videos?
I actually haven't for this. So Kevin and I were texting yesterday a good bit about AT-AT because there's the big scroll, that the owl woman Kim
Mm-hmm.
rolls out.
Hmm.
and it's got a bunch of Arbesh writing on it, but some of it's like not translatable. So Kevin last night actually took the time and he sent me a text of it, but he translated some of it, and it's kind of interesting. But
Oh
I'm
wow.
filming on my phone, so I can't look at it.
Okay.
But it was like it's a lot of it's just kind of so the way it reads is like a big circle, kind of unintelligible because it doesn't connect around, but it's like we were annihilated or something like that, or we were driven off. It gives like
Mm.
little
Hmm.
bits and pieces there. So outside of Kevin's homework and like one thing on Reddit, I have not done much digging at all.
Okay, let's talk about that then, because I came across a theory today as I was like looking for Easter eggs that I thought was pretty interesting. So apparently, early on,
Oh,
they are talking about like I don't know finance terms, but it's like fungible currencies, and they like
yeah,
all of the parents are analysts, and I guess they do like currency trading. I guess we'll learn more about that later.
right.
But when Jod is kind of doodling on his little like iPad thing and the droid teacher is lecturing, I wasn't listening to any of what the droid was
Yeah,
saying, but
yeah.
they were kind of talking about like very finance, like financial terms. So the theory is that Aten is, I guess, a descendant of the Galactic Banking Clan, the
Like the
separate.
Moons, right? That's
Yeah,
what
the
they are.
Munes.
That's
Mm-hmm.
the Plagueis species.
Yeah. Yep, that we see in the Separatist Alliance.
Huh. So you're saying uh, is Plagueis going to get the last laugh here?
Plagueis cameo. I don't think so. I don't think we're gonna
He's going to
see
creep
Plagueis.
around behind the
Yeah.
couch.
He's just in the background. Easter egg. But no, it's an interesting theory because I guess there is kind of some financial lingo going on that I didn't originally catch. I didn't actually watch a video on this, so after this, I probably will. But it is an
Yeah.
interesting theory.
When you know, like the whole planet is all about money, right? That's all they do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there for sure some connections. That wouldn't be surprising, I guess.
And their currency is Old Republic dataries, so that's curious.
Yeah.
So I'm
Old.
interested to see if there is a connection.
And it's mint too, not just old, but mint.
Exactly. Yeah, it is interesting. David says, I was wondering if people knew him without the helmet on. Isn't Jod the captain from the start? He is, yeah.
Yes.
But I kind of get the impression Jod hadn't spent too much time as a pirate captain. It kind of felt like a stint for him, you know?
Yeah, he's not a good one, apparently.
No. Yeah. More like, I don't know, something about the way they played up the comedy of the moment made me think this was a temporary
Right.
thing for
Right.
him. Star Wars Orders here. Hello there.
Hello.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's our first hello there of the day. So we're going to have a
Yes.
little cameo.
Hello there.
Hello there to you, Star Wars Order. Thanks for popping into the chat. David says, but as old captain told him to remove the at Aten coordinates, probably not. Oh, yeah. No, I don't think there's any connection between Jod and SM-33. Doesn't seem like it. Somehow Plagueis returned. Yeah, I
Somehow.
guess. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. It's an interesting theory. I gotta read more on it. All right. What else about this episode before we get into some of the Easter eggs I pulled?
Yeah, I like the idea. Um, so Star Wars kind of will do this, right? So I think Queen Amidala, Senator Amidala, she kind of was always thinking the fighting. I mean, she would fight. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you know this, like the number one Padme fan, but she was always kind of leaning towards, more of the negotiation aspect of it, like diplomacy, things like that. So we see a little bit of that with Neil, right? Like now he's coming from the scared side of it, which is not
Mm-hmm.
like Padme, but it's cool, that it's like, oh, it doesn't always have to be like hop in an X-wing and blow something up, or it doesn't have to be like aggressive negotiations. And so you see Neil kind of doing that, and then it rubs off, right? Like these warrior people, maybe she'll be nicer, right? Like that was kind of
Yeah.
corny. Don't get me wrong, it
Yeah.
was it was a little corny,
It was.
but it's not foreign to Star Wars, right? Like you've
Mm-hmm.
what's the girl in the Last Jedi that everyone hates? Um,
Rose.
Rose Tico, right? Like
Yeah. Oh, I hate
she
that
like
that's how she's known. What's the
well,
name of the one everyone hates?
I
That's
couldn't
not.
think of her name. Her sister's
Yeah.
Paige though. She's cool.
Tico. Yeah.
So like when she hits Finn and she's like, we're not gonna win by destroying what we hate, but saving what we love. Like
Right. Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
kind of Neilish, right? Like he
Yeah.
was kind of in that vein. So I
Also
thought that
very
was
corny.
interesting.
Very
Yeah,
corny
very.
line.
Oh, I gag when that scene happens.
Oh
Terrible.
no. No, but yeah, for sure. This was a big episode for Neil. I think if anything, if they had any consequence on anything or anyone, it was definitely Neil. Because of the four kids, he's the most
Yeah,
fearful, the shyest, the quietest. Like he didn't want to go on an adventure. He was happy on
yeah,
at Atten with his very large
yeah,
family.
yeah.
So
Cute
yeah, I was
family.
interested. And we got to see him be a little bit brave at the end, which is
Yeah, yeah.
fun.
They rubbed off
Yeah.
on each other, right? The tribe girl and him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so she's gonna be nicer, and then he's braver. So that's like a good
Right.
transaction for the characters.
Exactly. And that's kind of a big staple of coming of age stories is the characters have
Yeah.
to have been changed by the end. They start out as
Yep.
kids and then they end as kids, but with a little bit more world experience.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Fern had a little bit of growth too.
hmm yeah, because we've seen her be very cocky, very self confident. And this is the first episode where she's like, I don't know what I'm doing. So, yeah,
Right.
yeah. We've got a compliment on your Christmas
Oh, Christmas
tree.
tree. There it is, right there.
So pretty. Oh, I
Also,
love the
new
star.
couch came in.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, we
That's always exciting.
took the baby's recliner back to her room, her little rocker. We had it sitting there for like a month.
Oh, nice. Very nice. New couch to watch Skeleton Crew on. But I love the
Exactly.
star too. The star's fun.
Yeah, thanks.
Thoughts on the new tribe people wasn't really interested in them.
No.
Yeah. Felt very like dystopian. I don't know. It
I was
was
gonna say, what's the thing? I'm terrible at coming up with these names. It was like when the Hunger Games was coming out, and
yeah.
the woman that looks like Jennifer Lawrence, but she's not. Same genre.
Divergent?
Divergent. Yes, it was kind of
Mhm.
like Divergent, right? Like that type of thing. As you get further into that story.
Yeah. Yeah. Seems like all the planets at the end are all similar in appearance, seemed familiar to the kids. Yeah, similar planet to Aten, just not suburban and in ruins, clearly not at peace. So I think they're in the right system.
Yeah, how interesting was it? Like with that first building they walked into looked just like Fern's house. Did you notice the mural on the wall when they went in and
Um,
like the tree in the middle, it was bigger. So like that's how they knew it wasn't the right one. I thought
hmm.
that was super interesting. I'd already forgot about that, but it was like mirroring exactly like
Yeah.
At. So I
Like,
think there's something
right.
to that.
Like this would have been at Aten, but something happened along the way.
Yeah, like maybe all these jewels of the old republic, like they're just identical. What if they're all doing the exact or same purpose, maybe a different aspect of it? And so they all are like, and it's almost like they're in like a religious cult or something too. Like those pictures almost look that way on the wall. Like
Hmm.
there's something maybe bigger going on with all these.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I think there's a connection between the planets there for sure. And
Yeah,
maybe it begs the question, is this where Aten is headed in the future? If they fought a whatever fate, this planet fell to.
true,
Um,
true.
Even though I wasn't a fan of all of that stuff, I like the scene where Jod appears out of the fog and then returns the Aope. I thought
Yeah.
that was funny.
Did you know that was going to happen?
No. I had no idea what was happening. I was
I
like,
thought it was going to be him and the droid, and then it was.
it was, yeah, you're right. No, I didn't see that coming. I was honestly really confused about all of that. So I thought when he emerged from the fog was pretty comical. David says wasn't a fan of the dad, the leader guy.
I'm
Probably says the
indifferent.
same.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
is what it is.
Joshua was like, this doesn't make any sense. They're new. They're kids. If anything, they're a liability. Why would they send them ahead in like a fight to give away their position? I was like, yeah, I guess.
I was thinking when they sent him ahead, I was almost thinking it was like a King David like sending Uriah out to the front, right? Like get all biblical, like let them be the ones that get taken out first, and then we'll come around. So I almost thought he was like
Yeah,
using them
using
as
them as bait.
scapegoats. Yeah,
I was wondering the same. I'm like, oh, I wonder if these are pawns in their game now.
yeah,
But I like how that turned out. I like that they didn't actually have to fight because that would have been
yeah.
forced and unrealistic. So I like that it was
Right.
Jot. I'm sorry I don't know your name, but do you have a YouTube channel too?
Oh yeah,
Yes, I do. Because I think Star Wars Order. Wait, who is he talking about?
I think he's talking to me.
Uh,
I'm Will with the Padawan Pops channel. So and
yes,
then Andrea's with Padawan Chronicles. So
yes. Because we're multi-streaming,
Padawan Party.
yes, Padawan Party hashtag. Because we're multi-streaming, sometimes I'm not sure who the comments are meant for.
Yeah.
But yeah, Will has you started out with mostly pop collection stuff, right?
Yeah, so collectible stuff, and now still some, but less,
Less,
less.
more like lore content now,
Yeah,
right?
just more talking Star Wars. And then I posted a toy hunt today, so I still have fun with that too.
Nice. Yeah, so make sure to follow Padawan Pops.
Yeah, thanks.
I've linked him in previous streams that we've done the last few weeks, but not this one. I didn't write a description for this one. I still have to do that. Full disclosure, I took a nap right before the episode. I didn't have a ton of time. Joshua says, yeah, I thought that was too episodic. They tried to make us care about characters that very likely won't return, had only minutes of screen time.
I hope they don't return.
Yeah. Was like, I've had enough of them. I'd
It's a one
rather
and
they,
done.
yeah, I'd rather they explore the planet and learn through clues or evidence what had happened to it, and perhaps by proxy have a chance to learn about their own planet. I agree.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree. Yeah. Steve is stopping in to say, hey, before you watch the episode, yeah, go watch the episode before spoilers start coming. I mean, there wasn't any huge spoilers for this episode, but yeah, go watch it. Go watch it and then come back. No more party palps, party Padawans.
That's funny.
No, party palps is still around, don't you worry. All right, well, let's jump into the Easter eggs if you think that
Let's
sounds
do
good.
it.
All right, the first one we already talked about a little bit. It was the little Annie, and I found
Yeah.
this screen grab. I know we'd already talked about it because I had spotted it episode one, but this screen grab is from the screen. No, not Screen Rant. This one's New Rockstars, both of which are very great Easter egg channels, by the way. Screen Rant and New Rockstars, so definitely check them out. So yes, here we've got little Annie's pod racing helmet in the intro.
And I just noticed that today for the first time after you mentioned it. Yeah.
There he is. Yeah. Additionally, in the intro is now SM33.
I love that it's like it's accurate, one eye lit up and the other for the little rat to crawl out of.
Yeah, it'd be funny if they had the rat in it as well.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good.
Apparently, the eye that's extinguished is like meant to look like eye patchy, like he's got
Yeah.
one eye,
Yep.
which is fun. Gotta love it. I hope we do get more SM33. Going forward, I'll be sad if they just leave him. Robbie says little Annie appearance confirmed. Oh yes, so the Rockstars video did mention that they think the reason they included it is because this is the first episode since or the first Star Wars content since Phantom Menace to wait, how do I go back? To feature mainly kids. You know how little Annie was like the main
Yeah.
star of Phantom Menace. This
Yeah.
is the first thing since that. Again, kids shows aside.
Mainly feature. Yeah.
Yes, so it's the kids carrying the show, so I thought that made sense. The airbrush on the kid's jacket says at Atten Middle School Gamma. So that's been translated.
Wasn't there something too on? Doesn't she have something that says like precept on it as well? Like they translated it on Fern's little thing, like that hers says precept, so she's actually like top of her class as well.
Mm, yeah, I didn't see that in the video, but you're probably right. Is that what
That would
Kim
not be
uses?
that would not be an Easter egg. That would just be
Mm, yeah.
factual, I guess.
Is her backpack or whatever it was what Kim used to make the
Yeah, it was
connection?
whatever she looked at, and like under on her little emblem, it said like prefect underneath or something. So like even though she's in trouble, she's actually like top of her class.
Because she's a super genius.
Yeah,
Crimson Jack apparently is a
yeah,
Marvel character from the 1977 Star Wars comics.
yep.
In these stories, Crimson Jack was a key rival of Han Solo's, having robbed Han and Chewie of their reward from the Rebel Alliance in A New Hope, which they had hoped to use to pay off Jabba the Hutt, as we know from having seen the movie. However, Han Solo proved to be the better scoundrel and defeated Crimson Jack.
Now, do you have more about Crimson Jack coming up, or can I throw something else in
No,
there?
throw it in. Yeah.
So obviously, like I have Disney Plus with ads, so I never went on the Halcyon. But there was something there. Like they would mention Crimson Jack, like when you were on your little Star Cruiser experience there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it
Oh.
was like a different. I want to say it was different than this Crimson Jack. Um, but yeah, like that's a name that's been thrown around a few different places. Little nod to both.
I this was my first time hearing about it. I thought Crimson Jack was maybe like like a callback to like Jack Sparrow. I thought they had just made it up for this show, but no, it's
Oh
Crimson
yeah,
Jack has been around apparently. Maybe major rival of Han Solo. That sounds like a
look at
fun
that
comic series.
mustache
I know.
connecting
I
the
don't see the
locks, man.
resemblance. I don't see. I don't think they look that similar.
They're probably different people. He's probably just lying about being whoever. You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, it's
Oh,
Crimson Jack, because he lies about everything. So I
you
think that's
think
just
he's
another thing.
posing as Crimson Jack?
I think we're gonna learn that he's posed as a lot of people.
That would actually be a cool callback. Speaking of like 80s and 90s, actually, when was Princess Bride produced? Was it 80s or
80,
90s?
those 80s, yeah,
80s. There you go. Speaking of the 80s callbacks,
yeah.
that would be a super cool connection to the Princess Bride when
Hmm.
Wesley poses as the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yep,
Rogers? Dread Pirate Rogers, I think.
Rogers.
Yeah. That'd be so cool if like there is
Yeah,
no Crimson Jack, but there's just like a lineage of people
of
pretending to be him,
people. Yeah,
using the name to intimidate others. That would be cool.
it's kind of like
Bloom is
Shroot
here.
Farms as well.
Shroot Farms. Maybe.
It's not a
Uh,
real thing.
hey, Bloom, tuning in to give my opinion. Episode 4 was okay, but episode 3 is still my favorite. I have my first
Yeah.
Nutcracker dress rehearsal tomorrow. Oh, how fun! Nutcracker is so fun for like Christmas. Tomorrow and this weekend is the first set of shows, and I need my rest, so I'll be all right, Bloom. No worries, and good luck at dress
Break a
rehearsal
leg,
tomorrow. Yeah, that'll break like that'll be so fun. Let us know.
figuratively.
Yeah, let us know how that goes. Star Wars Order says Andrea took a nap. Content creator, no sleep. We need videos and live streams. Fair enough, but I did like a super long park day. I did Hollywood Studios on Sunday and Magic Kingdom yesterday, and got back
Dang.
at like 2 a.m. So I was exhausted. So as soon as
Are
work was
you
over,
are you weekend passing now?
no, I had to buy a separate pass because we
Uh,
wanted to go with my mom and dad, and they
Gotcha.
could only go Sunday and they don't have annual passes. So, yeah, we had to pay for a separate day pass. But we got to use our annual pass yesterday. So,
Monday, yeah.
hence the super late Monday night. I was so tired today after work. Enough about me. Robbie says maybe Smee's captain is Hondo. Ooh.
That would be a way to bring him in. I'm okay with
That would
that.
be interesting. I don't think of Hondo as much of a pirate as I do think of him as a scoundrel. I guess there's some overlap. In my mind, they're like different things.
That's
I
a
don't
good
know.
point.
Like, I picture scoundrels mainly like scamming people, and I guess pirates do that too, but they play a lot of sabacc, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. And
Yeah,
pirates, I don't know.
I know what you mean.
You know what
They're
I mean?
meaner,
Okay, I don't have to explain it anymore. There's a different
less,
vibe, I
yeah,
guess.
less morals.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to explain, but like Kay from Outlaws, for example, the new video game, you don't think of her as a pirate, you think of her as a scoundrel. So I think to
Yeah.
some extent they're separate categories. Oh, Dread Pirate Roberts, is it? Not Rogers. Dread Pirate Roberts. I think you're right. It's one of those two. The 80s, that was so long ago.
I
It
wasn't
was,
even around yet.
I mean, me neither, but it
I
doesn't
was
even feel like
almost
it was.
around.
I'm in denial about what year it is. It's not 2024. David says, I reckon Jod may be playing as a pirate and not an official one. Same.
I think so. Yeah.
I think that goes with the scoundrel personality of like taking on a persona that doesn't belong to
Yeah.
you. So, yeah, I agree. Maybe a con man. Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see. I
Yeah.
guess I wonder if we'll know for sure if it's like Crimson Jack from Marvel series or if it's just he's just posing as
Uh,
Crimson Jack.
so Kevin mentioned this last week on our podcast that Star Wars, the official Star Wars account, I didn't go back and look at this, but like they made distinction that this was not that Crimson Jack,
Oh,
but
thank
just
you for confirming.
yeah, but just like an homage to like one acknowledging it, but two showing that Jod will just kind of do whatever to get where he needs to be.
Yeah. Go. No, that's good to know. Yeah, that was gonna bother me. Like, is it really? But that makes sense. That fits with his personality, his con man personality. This was a thing I'm not totally convinced by. You can spot Hondo Ohnaka's ship at Port Borgo.
You're gonna have to circle it
Apparently, it's that ship right in the
right in
center.
the middle.
Yes.
I mean, that's a stretch.
I don't see it. I think that's made up.
I mean, I suppose it could be, but I don't.
No, I
Well,
don't.
I guess so.
Maybe.
Can you
Hmm.
spin Hondo's ship around?
Hmm. You think we're looking? This is like a side
I
view. I
think,
think this is
yeah, I think it's
technically a
no.
back view.
So on Skeleton Crew, it's the back view. Yeah. So like if
Yeah.
so, maybe it is. I don't know.
I was like, I think this is too square because his ship on the top photo looks very narrow, but maybe because we're looking like the perception is off because we're looking at the back of the
Yeah.
ship.
Well, for sure, the gunner, like it is in the right spot and it's circular, and then you've got the exhaust there. I mean, maybe so.
Yeah, could be, could be. Could also be literally anybody else's ship.
Big galaxy.
Yeah. Robbie says, I hope we learn more about his backstory. Yeah, Jod, I assume you're referring
Yeah.
to for sure. It's 2024, 2 weeks away from 2025. I don't even want to talk about it. I can't believe how
It's
close.
still March 2020 in my head. I don't
It's,
know.
yeah. Oh my gosh. And December is just flying by. I feel like
Yeah,
December just started yesterday. It's crazy. As he can use the Force, so it would be cool to see some backstory.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Very similar. Yeah, I'm leaning more toward that it wasn't a Force like magnetic trick like we saw with Haja and Kenobi. I think he actually has some Force sensibilities, but I need it confirmed. I need
Yeah.
to know
No, I
for
think he
sure.
does.
Port Borgo is a callback to a pirate port mentioned in Legends and Young Jedi Knights Shadow Academy and was originally near Mandalore.
Okay. Very cool. I never read that.
No, me neither. This looks very old.
I bet Kevin did though.
Oh no, Kevin. This is why you have to be here, Kevin. We need someone to confirm. The Teak, I know this, I've heard this before today, but the Teak made his heralded appearance as a ferryman on Port
Yeah.
Borgo after his original role in the Battle of Endor show.
I think I did see this on Instagram.
Yeah, he's so cute. I love him. Star Wars Order says, I know this isn't on Skeleton Crew, but are you guys excited for Mandalorian and Grogu movie?
Yes.
I think it hasn't really been on my radar. Do we even know anything about it yet?
Yeah, so they're casting some people in it. I've seen some casting calls. There's gonna
Was that the
be
trailer they played at D23?
and yes, they did play that. It
I
was a
remember
very
that.
like a sizzle reel, but I did watch that. It didn't show much, but you saw spoiler alert, you saw Zeb in it,
Mm-hmm.
and
And
lately
Hoth,
some of the
right?
well, Snow Planet, you know.
Mm.
But lately, the whole thing, they've been putting like a lot of casting news out. So some people have been cast from like the Imperial Shadow Council that we see in season three. So some interesting stuff there. Be cool to see where it goes. I'm less excited about it than I was like, season three kind of put a damper on it for me. But
Mm. Yeah, a lot of other people. Oh my gosh. Speaking of, I can't believe I honestly you caught me by surprise saying the ratings for this show are bad. I thought people were enjoying it.
which I mean, here's the thing on these. I don't know if we've perfected ratings on streaming, because
I
like,
feel like if anything, streaming should have the most accurate ratings because they should know exactly like
well, so
every watch time.
they know the minutes, right? And then they divide it by whatever. Um, so who's to say like on all these ones, it's like multiple accounts doing it. Maybe they've got stuff for that, but
They
like
have to have a way to account for
there
rewatching.
there's people though, like I know I have friends that do not watch a series until it's all the way out,
until
and
it's
then
over.
they'll sign up for a month of Disney Plus and watch it. So like I think for streaming shows, the way you judge them has to be better than just straight up views. Like how many subscriptions do they drive? Like I have Disney Plus strictly to watch Star Wars, right? So like that's me personally. Like how do you quantify that? You know? So I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I'm still surprised. I thought more people were going to tune in. Robbie says Teak was apparently voiced by Sam Witwer.
Yes.
Could be wrong.
Someone shared that he voiced somebody. Maybe it was him.
Oh my gosh, that would be funny. I don't even remember his speaking lines, but now I have to go back and see.
Yeah, he does.
Joshua says I don't quite buy it. The rating. Oh, you just Googled it?
No, no, no. So not like the fan ratings, but the viewership ratings. Uh,
Mm,
it's overwhelmingly positive from the fans. Even like your
mm,
critical
the
Star Wars
rating is
creators
90%.
think it's good.
Yeah.
But the viewership, I suppose, is the correct.
Oh, I thought you were when you first said that. I thought you were confirming the Sam Witwer thing, but you're talking about the Rotten
Yes,
Tomato
I
ratings.
was confirming Sam Witwer. Is what I
Oh,
was
you
saying.
were. Okay.
Yes, that was Sam Witwer. But for the Rotten Tomatoes thing, for the audience and critics, everyone loves this show. It's just the eyeballs aren't lining up with it.
Hmm. Yeah, interesting. Well, it doesn't it I don't feel like we even need a season 2 if it gets canceled because I feel like the story will be resolved by the end of this season.
Yeah, so the people, the creators said that they like have an idea for it if it gets to that point. So I think this is going to be kind of they'll do it if they want, if they make the call, but it's not necessary.
Yeah, I don't think it will be. I feel like once we resolve the Atten mystery, I don't think there'll be any need to return to this story. But I guess we'll see. We'll see where they leave things off, and if it
Yep.
feels concluded. Will other Easter egg Wim calls his credits dataries, which is an older term for credits used by Qui Gon Jinn and the Phantom Menace.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, yeah. So those are some Easter eggs I pulled. That's just
That's
episodes
fun.
1 and 2. So yeah, I'll pull some for episodes 3 and 4 that we can look at next week. I feel like it's just cool to circle back and
Yeah.
confirm some of these things.
No,
Anything
I thought that
else?
was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
No, it's this series is still going. We're halfway through, which is odd. So
yeah.
don't know where we're going from here. I mean, you assume they're going to hop around to some of these other planets. I guess is probably where it's going.
What did you think of the little cheek kiss that Neil got?
That was funny. Um, yeah, I mean, it was what it was. Not anything big with the episode.
As
He
soon as
probably like melted.
she started walking toward him, like I looked at
Yeah.
Josh, I was like, no, this is so unnecessary. Like, why do we have to have like a little romance? And she looks so much older than Neil. This girl looks
Yes.
like 17. I'm pretty sure
She's
Neil's like
seen she's
12.
seen battle.
And Neil hasn't. Neil's a little baby. So
She's probably
I'm
like
like,
14, but she's been fighting, so she looks old.
no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a good like romance story thread, but not like unnecessarily. I was like, ugh, why? Why did they
Like
do
that
this?
Padme Anakin age difference.
Oh gosh. I didn't like it. I know, but well, when Anakin was little Annie, it wasn't like that. They had like a
They
platonic
were
friendship.
friends, yeah.
Yeah, obviously he kind of liked her, but I don't know. I more so than he liked her, I'd say he admired her for her
Right.
bravery and her character, but it wasn't weird. This was a
And
little
called her an
weird.
angel.
Yeah, are you an angel? But no, I wish they would have left this part out. I thought it was weird. Could have done without it.
Well,
Kevin, is
well,
this
well. Better late than never.
Look who it is. Hey guys, just finished the episode. It was certainly interesting.
I cannot wait to talk about this with Kevin tomorrow night.
Now, Kevin, I need you to go to Rotten Tomatoes and I need you to leave that review in quotes. I just want to see certainly interesting as one of the reviews. I'm holding you to that.
You're
Um, Ricky hasn't gotten
he
the
did not
memo.
get the memo.
It's actually yurt now, Ricky.
You're we live in tents. We are
Yurt.
hippies.
Yes. Please adjust. Times are changing. Ricky says 8 out of 10.
Wow. Wow. The Ocho.
Yeah, Ricky, we both gave it a 6 out of 10.
I gave it a
Not a.
7. I gave it a
Oh, you
7.
did? Oh, okay, sorry. Will
Yeah,
gave it a
7.
7. I gave it a 6 out of 10. Not my fave. I feel like 6 is harsh because if we're talking about
Yeah, it
like
is kind of harsh.
letter grading scale, that's like a D. I'm gonna adjust. Okay, I will give it a 6.5. That seems
D's
more.
earn degrees to an extent. I'm proof of that.
Okay, I'm changing my answer. 6.5. I feel like 6 was maybe a
There we
little
go.
too severe.
Give it a 65 out of 100.
Yeah, there you go. Robbie says theories on next week's episode.
Yes. We go to one of those other 7 planets. So there's 9 planets in the jewels. At-Aten's one of them. They've been to at something today. So they'll hit another one or two.
Hmm. Makes me think of Thanos. There's 2 jewels left on Earth. 2 stones.
Kind of is
Bring them
that
to me.
way.
Yeah. David says, wonder if Smee comes back online, if he'll still be hostile or if he'll be normal and remember at. I know I was wondering, mostly me. I feel like I'm more attached to SM33 than Will is. I really like him. I think
Yeah.
he's funny. I hope he comes back online. We'll see. Ricky says,
Hate
wow,
Neil.
you hate Neil.
Andrea hates Neil.
I
I
do
gave it a
not.
7.
I
I
do
gave it a
not.
7.
Kevin agrees with me. Kevin says, I agree, 6.5. I don't know. I don't know, Ricky. We were talking about this earlier. It felt very like inconsequential to the whole series, except for the last 5 minutes. Not much happened. I don't know. It felt unnecessary, but I still enjoyed it. I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy
Filler.
it. Filler episode. Every show needs one. Ricky says, this is a Neil episode and you guys gave it a 6. That means you hate Neil. No, okay, to be fair, Neil was one of the redeeming aspects of this episode. He made it more interesting because he was so cute with his elephant trunk and his little chubby cheeks. I didn't need the kiss with the 17-year-old war clan
War
person,
veteran.
but war veteran.
She's
It
seen
just felt
stuff.
wrong on so many levels. I didn't need that, but I enjoyed Neil in this episode. He's adorable. David says they
Yeah.
go to another planet and realize they're all similar
Yep.
and there's more to it. So maybe
They're
at
like
Aten,
identical. Yeah.
but maybe at Aten is the only one left of these, and something
Yeah.
happened to all the other ones.
Yeah, there's something to that.
Interesting. The intrigue. Robbie says maybe their planet coordinates will be
Yeah.
another planet. Okay.
Yeah, I think they'll hop around to try to find it. Like maybe SM33 didn't get one of them.
Yeah. Which is a good callback to pirate maps. You usually have lines and like X
Yeah.
marks the spot. So we'll see if there's like a callback to a reference to X marks the spot. I noticed he had hair for the first time.
I did too.
He has a lot of hair. It was like blowing in the wind.
Yeah, he's got it like pushed over.
A comb over. Yeah. I know. He does look funny. I think it's because it's always so combed down. You don't even see it.
Yeah.
But his hair's getting messier and his hair gel is running out. It's just blowing in the wind now.
When he went and sat up on that little ledge, crisscross applesauce, next to that girl, that was like my favorite thing from this episode. I mean, he was like so out of place, and
So
they
cute.
they played on it. I thought that was so good.
Yeah, he really, and he swings his little feet. He's adorable.
Yeah, he's like
I
a
think my
little kid.
favorite part of the episode was SM33 once again. I liked when he's like, "Don't make me count." I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
I like the comedy he brings to the show. I hope
Yeah.
they keep him around. We'll see. Should we go ahead and
He'll be
open bag
around.
clips?
Oh yes, let's do it.
All right, 3 more bag clips for today, you guys. Once again, they are Andor. So these are the ones we got last week. We got Deidre. We got B2, which I was really happy about.
That was so good.
Yeah, love that one. And we got Cassian. Ezra Cassian. Doesn't really look like Cassian. I think it's a skin tone. I think it's a skin tone that makes him look more like Ezra than Cassian.
Well, and his beard is too dark too. Like it's a
Yeah.
combo. It's like
Mhm.
black beard. He looks like Sirius Black.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. All right, so here's the options. I'm really hoping for Bix. We could potentially get Marva. Who else
I'm
is in
rooting
there?
for mystery.
Mystery would be cool. Luthen's in there. Val's in there.
Luther.
And this is especially fun for me because I'm currently rewatching Andor. And so it's fun. Once again, I got these for $2.50 at Box Lunch because they were half off of clearance. So who do you think I'm gonna pull here, Will?
I'm going with Mystery A.
Mystery A. Okay, feeling hopeful. I'm still hoping for Bix. So let's see. Show me Bix. No, it is one of the mystery ones. It's Saw.
A or B?
Uh, it's B. You're so close, yet so far. The only other mystery clip option. That's so cool. I love, look at the scar on his forehead. I love it. Oh my gosh. Here's,
Hot take, I don't like Saw Gerrera.
oh, really? Why?
I didn't like him in Rogue One.
Oh, I thought he was funny.
A little aggressive.
A little aggressive. I mean,
A
that's
little
kind of
aggressive.
his thing.
He's kind of a
He's a little,
terrorist.
he's a little bit of an extremist, yeah.
A little
But
extreme.
he's funny. I love when he randomly shows up on your car windshield in the AT-AT and Fallen
Yes,
Order.
on Fallen Order, yeah. I did
That's
like
what I
that.
think of now when I think of Sagar. But this is awesome, and I actually just watched the conversation he had with Luthen the other day when
Yeah. That's a cool
Luthen
scene.
the dialogue in that scene is amazing. He's like,
Yeah.
"If you're trying to convince me it was you, it's
Yeah.
working." It
It's a
was
good
so
scene.
good. I'm happy with this one. All right, let's move on to clip number 2. Do you still want to vote for Mystery A?
No, we're going Marva.
Marva would be cool. I wonder who the other mystery one is. All right, let's see. Hoping
Non
for
Cassian.
Bix.
It's
I'll be,
little Cassian.
oh, might be right. Oh, we got Luthen.
Oh, that's
Oh
good.
my gosh, speaking of Luthen, now they can recreate that scene. If you're trying to convince me it was you, it's working. That scene was awesome. Just
Such a
like
good character, Luthen is.
he's awesome. Yeah, love that's the whole scene is probably my favorite. Oh, maybe not my favorite, but it's one of the best I think of the whole
That
show.
speech at the end's pretty good.
Yeah, too, that too. All right, what else? Are you gonna go with Marva again?
No, I gotta change it up now. We're going back to Mystery A.
Oh, okay, Mystery A. So apparently David had guessed right for Luthen.
There we go.
You were right, David. You saw it coming. You saw it in the Force. Bad clip
Even
1,
better.
Padawan Pops
Oh, you
0.
gotta update the score. It's 2-0 now.
Robbie was hoping for Bix. Still hoping for Bix. I know, me too. David's also thinks it's gonna be Mystery A. All right, let's see. Last one for
Young
today.
Cassian.
Oh,
Bix.
oh, she's adorable. Oh my gosh. Okay, I can throw the rest of them away now. I got the one I wanted. No, I still have like 10 more. I'll open them all. What a weird ensemble. I mean, I guess Luthen and Bix do work together. He's like the client that she calls in the
Right.
beginning.
Yep, at
So
the
that
very
makes
beginning.
sense. But I don't know. Saw Gerrera was kind of the random one in there. But hang on. This made sense. Hang on. These two made
And
sense.
even last week,
And
two
these two
thirds of
made
it made sense, right? You had Cassian and B2.
Yeah. Yeah. Connections. It's like, I don't know, it's a puzzle. Just
Do
a
you
way to
actually
make
clip these on a bag?
sometimes I do. Yeah, sometimes I do. If I have a bag that goes with it. I don't actually have an Andor bag, so these would probably just be off to the side as part of my collection. The Bix one's adorable.
Gotcha.
I love the braids. So cute. Look at the braids. Love it.
Very cool.
Yay. I'm so glad I got the one I wanted. David said,
We
sigh.
keep them going.
Got a medal from Robbie. Where's my medal? Oh, medal for me. Robbie's giving himself a medal. You guys are so funny. Ricky says, 2. We find, oh wait, was there a 1? Yeah, 1. SM33 called Jod a
We
baby.
like that part.
2. We find out every planet begins with at 3.
I like that
Neil
part too.
Neil got a kiss. Oh, 3. Okay, so 3 is Neil got a kiss. I didn't like that part. Apparently, neither did Will. 4. At Akron is a mirror planet at Aten.
That's true.
5.
We did say this.
Why didn't you break these up, Ricky? This is a huge list. 5. SM33 was in that planet before. Oh.
Yes,
Well, yeah,
he was.
that's
Yes.
confirmed. Yeah.
That is factual.
That is factual. 6. SM-33's old captain killed the crew, destroyed the coordinates. Yeah.
You know what? This episode's a 9.5 for me now.
What? Because of Ricky's list?
Ricky, no, it's still a 7. It's crazy though that they did cram so much good information into the last 5 minutes of this episode.
Yeah, they did. Limb from limb. And then he like goes Terminator and like his limbs expand, but then they zoom
Yeah,
out and he looks exactly the same.
yeah.
I'm like, wait, what did he actually
I
do? Did he
love
just
that camera view they gave on that one too, like where it's like her looking at him. That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, this was fun. It was fun talking about episode 4 with you guys and opening up some back clips. I'm glad we got Bix finally. So thank you guys for tuning in. Parting words from Will.
Yeah. Hey, this is a lot of fun. We'll do it again next week.
Yeah, yeah, and hopefully we can get Kevin or someone else on to have
Oh,
more.
hey, actually, next week is Christmas Eve.
Oh, see, I don't
This
even know what day it is,
this
Will.
may not happen next week.
Is there an episode next week on
Yeah,
Christmas Eve?
there is an episode. I'll be in the
Okay.
mountains though, so
Oh, so reception might be so.
yeah,
Okay, well
I'm just
maybe we'll
taking my
save
phone.
it. Okay, well, and the Wednesday, I guess, would be Christmas Day then, which I'm off of work both days, but probably doing family stuff. So maybe we'll leave it for
We'll stay in
Thursday.
touch and see. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Stay tuned, folks. Ricky, get some good sleep. Robbie says ticks for stream. Had fun night. No stream or rewrite. Robbie's
We're
gonna
due
threaten
for
to
a good
unsub from
riot.
both
Yeah.
of us.
Wait.
Christmas stream or I unsub. No, he's moved away from that. He's moved away. Jedi Robbie
He
used
stepped
to
away.
always. Yeah, he's moved on. Different phase. Now it's all about the riots. Speaking of Andor. David says, bye, had fun, take care. Bye, guys. Have an amazing Christmas Eve. What did I skip? You skipped one. No, I didn't. Oh,
Let me go get. Oh.
SM-33 is the Star Wars version of Ultron.
Well, if they had got Robert California to voice him, yes, but they did not.
Yeah, true. Fair enough. I will bring it back in 2025. LOL. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you guys
See
so
you
much
guys.
for tuning in. Until next time, God bless, and I'll see you soon.